Hello, everybody. My name is Megan Graham, and today I'm here. I come on every Monday, and it's at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And I talk a little bit about these Lifewave patches, mainly the X39 patch, but really all of the different patches from Lifewave, which I have been wearing for almost a year now. It's been quite a while. If you don't know my story, I had a lot of different health ailments that I was trying to get better from. I was suffering from chronic fatigue, which is not just being tired. And these patches have made a huge difference in my life. So I always like to come on and chit chat a little bit on Mondays and bring some of the things that I know to everyone. If you don't know, I'm an independent distributor for Lifewave, which means that I work with Lifewave. I don't work for Lifewave. And I have built my own Lifewave business, and I just have a passion for these patches. So today I thought I would come on and do something a little bit different. People are always asking me what supplements I take and the things that I do to support the patches. And this is not medical advice. I am not telling you that you should be, taking specific supplements. I'm just giving ideas and sharing. And so one of the important things is if you want to have these patches really work for you, you have to make sure that you have the building blocks in your body for it to do certain processes. Eventually, Lifewave is going to be coming out with its own supplement, which is going to make things so much more simple. But for now, their supplement isn't ready yet. I believe when I was at convention, they said that their supplement would be out in, I think, early 2025. But for now, they don't have it. So I just like to show you guys some of the main supplements that I take that make a big difference for my patches. And hello, thank you so much for joining me, Christine. I really appreciate it. And thank you for saying hello. That always means a lot when you guys say hello in the comments, or if you bring your questions and you put them in there, makes a big difference. So thank you so much for doing that. And by the way, none of the supplements that I'm showing are Lifewave supplements. They're just really great supplements that I have personally found. So first of all, the Lifewave X39 patches are actually able to increase the GHK-Cu copper peptide in your body. And if you don't know what GHK-Cu copper peptide is, it is a peptide that is responsible for wound healing, hair, skin. It's an amazing peptide. And it's something that we all have in our bodies naturally. However, it declines with age. So I am 48 years old, which means that my natural production of GHK-Cu copper peptide would be lower than, let's say, when I was, 18 or 28 years old. Things are always starting to decline as we age. And so in theory, the patches can increase that. However, if you don't have the building blocks that you need, it would be difficult for the patches to work as well. So this is the copper supplement that I take. It is, and I didn't link to this. I did put the name of this into the description. So if you want to look up any of these supplements, I did put the names in just so that you would know what they are. This is an amazing supplement, and it has copper in it because to produce GHK-Cu copper peptide, you have to have enough copper in your body. I have my copper levels in my body tested every few months because of my health history. They always have to make sure that I have enough copper. I love this supplement. It's amazing. My husband takes it as well. And this actually helps our patches to do what they need to do. I'm curious if anyone on here has had their copper tested. I will say that for taking supplements, I think a lot of the times it's good to actually get a test so that you know if you need something or you don't need something. And by the way, if you do need patches and you don't have someone helping you, you haven't purchased the patches before, my link to the Lifewave patches is in the description of this video. And if you're not working with someone and you need a consultation, I love to hop on the phone for, 10, maybe 15 minutes, hear what's going on with you symptom-wise, and recommend patches that I think might be helpful. So feel free to send me an email. My email is in the description. And hello, thank you so much for saying hi. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Okay, so this is something a lot of people don't realize that they are deficient in magnesium. I am no longer deficient in magnesium, but when I was deficient in magnesium, I wasn't sleeping as well. I had leg cramps and I was regularly clenching my teeth. I've been taking magnesium for a few years now, and it is a extremely important thing if you need it. Many people, so when I started seeing my current doctor, she said that most of her patients are actually deficient in magnesium. And I was one of the few that wasn't deficient in magnesium. So I was proud of that. I am going to show you the specific brand as well. The brand of this is Designs for Health. And I put the name of this into my bio. This is a wonderful supplement. And of course, this is helping so many processes in your body. So it is also helping the patches. A little note about supplements. I never, and I mean never, ever get my supplements on Amazon. I don't know how they're being stored, and I don't really know if they're the real supplements. So I usually go, if you guys need a link to it, let me know. It's not my link, but I get them on Fullscript through one of my friends' links, or I go directly to the company's website. But I'm not just buying my supplements from just anywhere, because believe it or not, there's a lot of stuff on Amazon that isn't real. And so I don't, and I do, by the way, I have a link. I could share a link to supplements on Amazon and I would make money from it, but I choose not to because I just don't know if that is the real thing or not. Does anybody have any questions or feel like jumping in the comments? I know this isn't like all about the patches, but I run across a lot of people, and sometimes I just know that people are probably not getting all of their required things that they need, and the patches might not be working as well. So I'm just bringing to light some of the important things. These are so interesting. If you haven't heard of Kinton Minerals, these are some of the most interesting things you've ever seen. So this, you'd have to learn a little bit more about it, but I actually take, it's a little thing basically of seawater. It has every single trace mineral that's in your body in this little vial. It is incredible. I actually break off the tip and I put it into a glass of water. I take, this is my evening formula, and I take one in the morning, and these minerals are just absolutely incredible. I put the name of these in. These minerals have been extremely healing and very supportive. And to me, just so you can see it, this is the evening version. And then I actually don't have the daytime version because it is, I just ordered it and I'm out of it right now. But those are my minerals that I take a few times a day. Okay, now this one is, has anybody heard of Colostrum? So this is something that I take once a day, and this is also linked in the description. It is Amra, and colostrum, if you don't know, is something that you actually get from your mother when you're born. And I take this is actually watermelon flavor. I put it into a glass of water, and there are so many benefits to this that I'm literally just going to read them to you. So benefits that you can see and feel: fortified gut health, helps your metabolism, improved mood, focus, and energy, enhanced skin radiance and hair growth, sinus and respiratory health, restored sleep, strengthened immunity, and it fuels performance and recovery. So basically, I take this, and to me, it is a great complement. It's helping my microbiome. It's helping all of those things. It's a great complement with the patches. So these are just my general wellness things. And, you know, I know that most people aren't going to do all the things that I do, and I totally understand that, but I still share them so that if there's something that sparks an idea for you that you want to research, maybe it will be helpful. This is something that a lot of people don't know about. If you've ever had any kind of toxic exposure, as I have, so I have a genetic predisposition to accumulating toxins. I don't methylate well, if you've ever heard that before. And so I take what is known as a binder. It's a toxin binder, and it actually helps to attach to toxins and move them out of my body. This is not medical advice. Obviously, always check with your doctor. See if you need these supplements, see if this is something for you. Use your judgment. But this is a supplement. It is called Quicksilver Ultra Binder. And why do I take this binder? I take this binder because maybe you've heard that certain people have a detoxification reaction. So if they're starting the patches, certain processes start to work better in their bodies, and sometimes they feel like they're detoxifying, which is, it can happen. What this product does is it actually helps to attach to the toxins so that they move out of your body. And we'd like to think that our bodies can always just move them out for us. But for certain people, they really just don't move toxins out. And so that binder just helps to move toxins out of the body. And the last thing that I want to show you is glycine. Glycine is a super, super important thing that's in all of our bodies, and most people aren't getting enough of it. And so what's interesting is for many of these different things, just so you know, not every single one. So this is not built into the Lifewave supplement, but many of those supplements that I'm showing you are going to be built into the Lifewave supplements. And why does that matter? Because it's going to be so much easier to take one supplement than to take 8 bottles of supplements or something like that. So that is one of the reasons that I'm so excited about the Lifewave supplements, that they're going to make it so that people are getting these essential nutrients and amino acids, minerals that they need to help their patches to work better. And hello, Patty. Thank you so much for saying hi from Sugar Land, Texas. That is a beautiful, beautiful name of your town. I love that. Are you using the patches now? And if so, what is your experience? I always love hearing from you guys. Also, feel free to put any questions about the patches into this. I feel like for some people, talking about supplements might seem boring, but for a lot of people, I know that if someone's using the patches and they say, well, I just don't feel like they're working as well as they could, they probably don't have some essential things in their bodies that they need for those supplements to work well. Now, this is not a supplement, but I'm also going to show you. So if you don't know this, I talk about this in so many of my videos. It is so important to be properly hydrated when you're using the patches. And so what I do is actually keep this little, I want to say it's a pen organizer that I got from the Container Store, and I fill it with these electrolytes. I also linked to these in the description of this video. I fill it with these electrolytes. Every single flavor is so good. They're so natural. They taste amazing. This is the lemon, and it tastes just like lemonade, which I love. But I fill this to make sure that I am hydrated. I have a lot of trouble just drinking plain water. For one, I don't think it's actually that hydrating because you need to have electrolytes with your water as well. But I just can't drink enough water when I try to drink plain water. And you should be approximately drinking half your body weight in ounces. So when you're using the patches, it is so important to be well hydrated. If you are using, and if you haven't seen it, these are the Lifewave patches. When you're using these patches, it is essential that you are drinking enough water. And if you don't, they're not going to work as well. And you're also not going to feel as good as you could. So those are the main things that I use as kind of like little accessories for my patches. But they are actually quite important, at least for me. So those are the things I've been using. Does anybody have any questions or comments? I'm not going to show you any more supplements. Those are just the ones that I consider to be the most vital. As a brand partner, as somebody, so my job is to help people understand how to use the patches, choose the patch that is going to work the best for them, and then I support people along the way. So I, help people figure out which one is best for them, and then if they so choose to sign up for patches, then I help them once they start. They ask me questions as they're going and things like that. I think it's really important that we're doing all the things. So we're staying hydrated and we're staying on track with all of these things. So when I am able to recommend the supplement that Lifewave is going to have, and whenever that's out, it's going to make my job a lot easier, which I'm excited about. if anybody has any questions, feel free to hop in and ask them. I always make my YouTubes kind of short, so if people don't jump into the chat, I probably won't stay on for too long, just because, I don't know, when people don't ask questions or comment, I just feel like people maybe aren't interested in the topic, or there just aren't that many people on. So just let me know if you have any questions. It doesn't have to be about supplements. People are just always asking me about the different ones that I take. So I figured I would put it together into a video, make it simple to share. Let's see, this week in my Lifewave. So if you don't know, Lifewave is my full-time business. Originally, I started wearing the patches last November, the last day of November. And at that time, I was extremely, extremely sick. I had just spoken with my doctor. She had written me a letter to basically say I was disabled and that she had let me know that it should be about 3 years before I was able to work again. So that was really, really upsetting to get that news. But during that time, a close friend of mine had actually recommended the Lifewave patches. And what I always like to tell everyone is those were not the only thing that I was not just wearing patches and hoping for the best. I was wearing patches, seeing my biotoxin doctor, eating properly, and doing the various treatments that she wanted me to do. But before I was wearing the patches, I was really dealing with chronic fatigue, and I was just having trouble getting through my days. I definitely wasn't enjoying my days. I wasn't getting much done, and I didn't have much of a life at that point. And when I started wearing the patches, I just started feeling a glimmer of energy, a glimmer of hope that I was going to get better. And I noticed some things that I noticed within the first 2 months. Within about 2 months, I had bald spots right here and on the other side matching. And within about 2 months, I had baby hairs filling in the bald spots completely. My eyebrows had filled back in from where I was also balding in my eyebrows. My skin was smoother. My memory was better. I was able to do more errands. And I just noticed an accumulation of good things that happened to me as time passed. One thing that I always like to say is it doesn't happen overnight, and you will hear a million stories of people putting the patch on and they'll say that things got better overnight. I do think that certain people can feel relief from discomfort. Some things can happen quickly, but in my mind, some of the best things that have happened for me and the hundreds and hundreds of people that I've helped, it's been over the course of months, not days, but months. And those results tend to accumulate and change over time. So if you're using the patches, if you just started, definitely don't give up after a month. Know that it should take, to me, minimum 1 month for every decade you are old. So in my case, I'm 48. So minimum of 5 months of trying that patch. Now, of course, can you stop it at any time? You can, but if you only give it a month and you don't even give it, 2 months or 3 months, you're probably not giving it enough time to really work. So I always like to tell people that. So I shared with a few people initially, a few friends that I know that also had Lyme disease, that had some issues that were plaguing them. And I started seeing great results and hearing really good stories back from people. And so as I got those results, I started getting a little bit more confidence and telling more people about Lifewave, telling them about the patches, and always in a really realistic, not pushy way. So for instance, a lot of people, I think, get nervous. Like I'll say, if you want to have a phone consult, we can hop on the phone. And I think what they expect is that I'm going to be telling them, you have to do this. This is the most important thing, and trying to sell them. I don't sell people. I share with them. I answer their questions. I tell them what I think is best. But I think at the end of the day, you really have to leave it up to other people, And so for me, if I have a phone call with someone, I don't know. It's just not my nature to say, like, do you want to buy this product, or this is your next step? I just give them the information. And if they want it, they want it. They're going to tell me that. And so basically that was how my business grew. I just decided to share, and I got a little bit braver, and I learned about the product, and I just kept telling people about it. I mean, it was literally that simple that I decided that I wasn't going to be afraid to just tell people about something that had made such a big difference. And today, actually, I connected with a friend of mine from Boston, and he had actually gotten sick from mold years ago, and he had completely recovered. And I just heard from him the other day, and he said that he had had another mold exposure and he had to get better from it again. And that's really upsetting, by the way. If you have gotten sick and you've gotten your health all the way better and you have to go through it again, it's definitely upsetting. And the older that we get, the harder it is to heal. I mean, I'm not trying to have a bad attitude. It's just that's how it is. And so we were chatting about it. And obviously, I was telling him about other things that I've learned since I saw him. But I was also super excited to tell him about the patches and the increased capacity for healing that I feel like they've given me. So it's a really fun thing to share. It just makes me excited to be able to share something that can make such a big difference for so many people. So anyway, that is about it. But we're a year in now. I've been using these patches consistently. The only one I'm wearing today is just the X39 patch. But anyway, so I'm a year in, and I have been now taking jujitsu. I take jujitsu every single week. I just got my second stripe on my jujitsu belt, which I think is amazing. I can't believe that I did jujitsu this past year with all of the things that I was still experiencing with my health, but I got my second stripe. So if you don't know about jujitsu, you need 4 stripes to get your next belt, and I'm halfway there. And I did it all while I was dealing with a lot of complications from my Lyme disease and a mold exposure that I had last year, which was terrible. So I'm super proud of that. And also, it's so interesting, but I started using the patches and they gave me so much more energy. And, I've always been an entrepreneur. It's just, I love helping people. I love working. And I was able to work from my apartment most of the time and build a business. And I think my business is it's at 775 people now. And that's in 1 year while I was healing, while I was doing other things. And I'm just extremely proud of that. I love helping people. I don't love pushing people. But I have changed, I won't say I've changed the world, because 75 people is not changing the world, but it is helping a lot of people to feel better, and using what I learned from getting sick in the first place to hopefully help other people get out of any kind of tailspin that they're having and just really enjoy their lives. So that's a little bit about me and this past year. I don't know if it's interesting or not, but I still can't believe that it happened. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for my patches, for the healing that I feel I've gotten from them, for the people that I've met. I was really lonely when I started, and because I was housebound a lot, and I've met so many people. I'm no longer housebound. I get to go out and do things all the time, and I get to help other people. Either many people I just help just use the product. Other people I help them to build a small business. It's sort of like whatever people are doing, I get to help them out with that, and I take a lot of pride in that. So that's a little bit about this last year. Later on, after this live stream, I think my husband and I are going hiking today. And I just feel really appreciative for my body working and my health returning and all of the magical things that have happened for me this year. So thank you to all of you for making it possible. Thank you for coming to my YouTube every week. Thank you for participating. And if you are my customer as well, thank you for supporting my business, because it has made such a big difference. It has paid my medical bills. It paid for me to go to convention. It bought the supplements I'm showing you. So anyway, thank you so much. I really appreciate your support. It's made such an amazing difference in my life. And I can't even tell you, it's changed my life so much. So thank you to all of you, whether you're my customer or not. If you watched my YouTube, it still supported me so much. And I just appreciate all of the kind words and all of the kind people. I always feel very fortunate that every week wonderful people show up, and you guys just have really positive energy. So thanks for that, because a year ago, I was in a completely different place, and I just feel very grateful for everything that has changed. And oh, thank you so much. Do I say it Renee? I'm probably not saying it. I'm so sorry. I always pronounce things wrong, but it says, yes, interesting. Thank you. Appreciate you sharing. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that it was interesting. Yeah, never in a million years did I think that this would happen. When I signed up originally as a brand partner, and I didn't sign up under someone that did the business. So I figured it all out on my own. And I remember I had signed up 500 people all on my own because I read about it and I learned how to do it, and I led with my heart and I just helped people. I decided I'm going to do the best for people every single phone call. If you get on the phone with me, a lot of times I'll say, you don't need that package. You don't need to buy that much right now. You actually only need this. And then maybe later you'll get that. So probably if anything, I talk people out of some things that they thought that they needed early on, or maybe talk them into spending less. But anyway, so I just built my own business, being honest, being helpful. And then I wound up connecting to my team and really lovely lady Melanie and my mentor Ted. And it's just been a wonderful process. And the thing that came out of this process that I never imagined is that I feel in this doing this business it's such a passion for me, and it fulfills so many different things. I've met lifelong friends that I just love and I enjoy talking to. So anyway, I never felt like this. If you don't know this, before this all started, I was a very, very well-known hair colorist. I owned a fancy, beautiful salon in Boston, Massachusetts. I won awards for being the best hair colorist. 2 years, I got Boston Magazine's Best Hair Colorist Award. And it was wonderful, but it was a very stressful job. I was always like standing behind the chair. I wouldn't eat lunch because it took away from how many clients I could see. It was just, my hands were always shaking. It was fun, but it wasn't fun. It was really, really stressful. And it never felt, even though I enjoyed making people feel beautiful and taking care of them, it never felt important. It never felt like I was doing something good, if that makes any sense. I wasn't doing something bad, but I wasn't doing something good. And this job has felt like a calling to me because after getting sick myself, it feels very impactful to be able to help other people to feel better. So anyway, that's a little bit. I love talking about I don't talk about the business aspect all the time, but it has been a very fulfilling journey to be able to help people. So I love it. If you have any questions about the supplements, just let me know. Does anyone have any questions about the patches before I sign off for the day? Please jump into the chat now if you have a question, because I think I am going to go hiking in a few minutes with my husband, Jeff. It is a beautiful day in Arizona. I think it's about 80 degrees, 78, 80 degrees. And we just, as soon as the weather turns and gets nice, we love to go hiking. I have little grounding shoes that I wear, and we just like to go out and get some fresh air and things like that. So it looks like there aren't really a lot of questions. So thank you so much for joining me. If you are interested in any of these supplements that I was showing, I put the names of all the supplements into the description. And if you're interested in learning more about the patches, if you are not signed up or already purchasing these patches with someone, definitely feel free to email me. And I'm always happy to set up a consult. I usually set up a 10-minute phone consult because I'm from the 80s. I was born in the 70s. And I just think that speaking on the phone is just quick and easy, and you can convey information. So if you're interested in that, please feel free to send me an email and let me know. I love chatting on the phone and just helping people and answering whatever questions they have. If you don't need to speak to me and you do need patches, my links are in there. And if you sign up for patches with me, then I am your point of contact. So I would be the one that you would contact personally. And the only people that I really have time to help personally are the people that have signed up or have signed up through me. So if you do need my personal help, always make sure that you're signed up through me. Obviously, if you're signed up with someone else, go to them. They are your person. Thanks so much for joining me, everyone. It seems like nobody has any questions. So I hope you all have a beautiful day. Stay healthy and stay beautiful. And I will see you soon. Bye, guys.